Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla and I like to talk about books, reading vlogs, lots of stuff like that. But today I thought it would be kind of fun to bring you along with me on the journey of reading my new, well, it's not new because she published it a while ago, but by reading this book by Lucy Foley, The Book of Lost and Found, which was recommended to me recently. So I picked it up and have just been starting it and I'm enjoying it. And I thought I would just kind of like vlog reading it. I don't really know why, but it just seemed like it'd be kind of fun because it's been a while since I've done something like that. I'm not that far yet. I just started it last night and I think I'm only like 30 pages in. Yeah, I'm like just over 30 pages in, so really just kind of setup right now. And basically the setup is about this girl whose mother recently died. Her mom was like she was like a well-known ballerina who actually grew up in an orphanage and then was taken on by this woman, Evelyn Evie, who is basically this girl's like surrogate, or like essentially her grandmother, because this woman essentially became a mother to her mother. So there's kind of this interesting little family dynamic already. I should add her name is Kate. Kate's mom passes away pretty suddenly and she's in art school, and her grandmother Evie is still around but is actually in like a nursing home now because she's been dealing with some dementia and issues like that, coming in and out of like cognizance. So basically when Kate goes to talk to her grandmother Evie after her mom passes, her grandmother divulges the information that she was actually contacted by her mom's birth mother. So like her real grandmother contacted her and reached out and wanted to meet with her, and she's pretty sure it actually was her mother, and she basically just blew her off. And so that's kind of where I'm at and there's like this photograph of the woman that shows just like this crazy resemblance. So that's why she's pretty certain it was real, but she blew her off anyway because she was like, no, like this girl became my daughter. And I kind of get why she honestly didn't ever say anything or do anything about it. But anyway, basically 2 days or 3 days after divulging this information, Evelyn passes, and she never really gets to tell her that she kind of understood her decision, which is a little bit of a bummer. But I'm just gonna read a little bit more right now and I'll kind of update you once more has happened. I'm kind of feeling the vibes of it. It's definitely different than other Lucy Foley books that I've read. I think like the ones that I've read by her are her more recent releases that are definitely more formulaic, murder mystery, secluded area kind of vibes. So this is so far a little bit different. It's more like family mystery. I think there may potentially be like some murder mystery elements that are revealed later, but so far it's just really interesting, like family intrigue and stuff like that. So I'm gonna sit down with my dog for a little bit and read a little bit more. Here to give the tiniest little reading update. Oh my gosh, I look crazy because I fell asleep with my baby during her nap, but I also read a little bit this afternoon as well, and I don't remember exactly where I left off. I think I left off with just the background that Kate's mother and pseudo kind of grandmother had passed, and so she's dealing with that, and then she has this like mysterious picture. Well, she took it to her like friend slash ex-boyfriend who's like an art person, and he found some sort of expert who basically, she found this woman who kind of traced who they think the artist is, and then she managed to get in touch with the artist's sister who was like, yeah, he like lives on some island or something. I forget exactly where it is, but he lives like somewhere kind of secluded, and basically she sent him a letter because this woman gave Kate his contact info, and he like sent her a letter and then sent her literally like money to go visit, because clearly this sketch meant a lot to him too. So it's kind of already starting to get really interesting. It's a very interesting and intriguing plot line. I'm super excited to see where it goes. I don't know it's pretty different already than her other books, but who knows, maybe it'll become more similar. I really like just like the intrigue of it all so far, so I'm really excited to see where it goes. I'll probably read a little bit more tonight and give maybe another update tomorrow. Why do I look like a colonial woman right now? I'll update you once I've read a little bit more, but like I said, it's just a really intriguing plot so far. So it's been a few days since I've given a reading update because it's actually just been a few days. I kind of just have taken a break, life stuff, you know. So I just kind of like haven't really read a ton. I read a little bit last night. Thank you so much! I read a little bit last night, so I don't remember exactly what my last update was, but I think my last update, Kate was just arriving to Stafford's house in Corsica, I think. I feel like there's a little bit of a feeling of unease surrounding the whole thing because it is such a bizarre thing that he just like really quickly invited her there. It kind of has been revealed now that he's the one who obviously sketched the picture, and it's just kind of a weird vibe, and his like grandson Oliver is there. Oliver's mom is dead. I just feel like there's gonna be a lot more reveal around Oliver. I feel like there's gonna be something weird that happens with Stafford, so I'm just like I'm actually at a point where I really am very curious to keep reading and super interested. Anyway, I'll update again later. Bye. Okay, I'm back with a little bit of an update. I sat down and read while my baby was napping. I actually also fell asleep for a little bit, but I think I updated that she was at Stafford's like home in Corsica. She's at his house. She met his grandson Oliver. He was like really rude to her. Well, Oliver like made amends with Kate, and Kate keeps learning more and more about Stafford's past, and Alice, who I'm kind of like presuming is just like her, I guess, biological grandmother. It seems like everything's pointing to that. Basically, we discovered a little bit more from like Stafford's flashback point of view perspective that he and Alice definitely got it on, and I kind of suspected this the whole time, but I feel like it's gonna be revealed that he's actually Kate's biological grandfather. Maybe that won't be a reveal, but I feel like that's gonna be like kind of revealed soon, or maybe not. And I'm very curious. We found out, so Oliver, his like grandson who's being kind of rude to her, basically Oliver as well like invited her out this one night, and they were having like a good time. He was being nicer to her, and here my baby playing, she's being cute. Basically the reason that he came to visit was to get away after his marriage fell apart. So that's the tea with Oliver, and I really cannot wait to read more tonight, so I'm definitely gonna like be tucking into this later, and I'll probably give an update tomorrow. I'm just gonna give a little bit of an update. I've been pretty bad about that, but I did read a little bit more last night. I thought I would like get all the way to the end, but I actually also watched the movie The Northman, so I just did not have time. But I think I probably will finish tonight, so, or at least maybe even during her nap, but probably tonight. So I'll probably have like my completed thoughts tomorrow. Oh my gosh, like so much has happened. Okay, so basically we find out kind of who we think Kate's biological grandfather is. This French man that Alice / Celia, she met him in Venice when she was spending the summer there with her sassy aunt. He lets Kate know that he did receive a postcard from her, but never like followed up on it, because by that point he was like married with his own family and everything. So yeah, he basically gives her the postcard and is like, I presume she's still at or somewhere near this address in Paris. So Kate goes to Paris, and actually Oliver, Stafford's grandson, offers to, oh my gosh, there's so many noises, I'm so sorry, offers to go with her on the journey, and they're kind of having like a little bit of a spark moment. And now that we know that Stafford is probably not Kate's grandmother, we can kind of root for it a little bit, because obviously before I was like, wait, are they like somehow actually maybe related though? So that's kind of, I thought that the twist, not really twist, but I thought it was probably going to be revealed that Stafford might be Kate's grandfather. Anyway, Oliver goes with her. I'm like right about to get to the point where she potentially meets Alice and I guess learns more. It's really at the point where you just want to like dig into it. So like during her nap and then this evening, I'm so excited to dig into it. But honestly, worth postponing because the Northman, I mean, that could be like a whole other separate video, but like worth postponing some of the reading for. Okay, so I'm giving my final reading vlog update on this book, and I am once again in a different location and a weird amount of like time and reading has passed, but this has actually just been like a really chaotic week of my life for me, so bear with me. I just finished this book last night and kind of like slept on it, thought on it, and wow, a lot happened. I'm gonna kind of unpack some of my thoughts. But basically, Stafford actually did end up being Kate's grandfather. Yeah, so that's what happened, and Alice just filled Kate in on a lot of her past, which was nice to have like the gaps filled in the story. Thanks. I felt like it was a little too much extra unnecessary backstory on Alice as a character at the end, and it made it kind of like drag at the end throughout like the resolution and everything, where I feel like it just like you kind of hit like the climax. There were a bunch of the reveals and then it just like fizzled out a little bit. A lot of the praise that I have for it stands. I loved the differences in the point of views and the time periods, and I thought it was really nice to have the modern story with Kate and Stafford and Oliver and then eventually Alice all interwoven with old story, like the history of Alice and Stafford. I did like those components and the way it was structured, but it did seem to like fizzle out and really dwindle and draw out a little bit too much in the end for me. I did appreciate it being a non-murder mystery and seeing her style on that and just the historical fiction components and all of that were interesting, but like I said, I think that there were like in the end, I think there's a little bit of like a structural pacing issue. Part of it too is because it felt a little bit like there was unnecessary levels of justification for like what Alice did and how things turned out, and I actually don't think it needed to be justified quite to the extent that it was. I don't think they needed to like redeem her character that much in my opinion, and I believe that maybe a lot of the extra backstory at the end that really made it drag was just trying to redeem her character, who I felt like wasn't a negative character, so it was very confusing. But I do believe that that's probably why she felt like adding a lot of that in. Overall, I mean, it was a pretty good book. It was a fun mystery. I like how it unraveled. I don't know that I would like read it again or anything, but I think it's worth a read. I think it's something different to what I've read from her previously, so I did enjoy it. And yeah, that's about it. Let me know below what your thoughts are on this book. I'm sure that it's old news for a lot of people, but yeah, I would just love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. How you enjoyed this book, how you felt it was similar and different to her other more recent work, and yeah, just really would love to actually chat about this. I think it's really interesting. That's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for coming along this really scattered reading vlog, but I think my next video will be a little bit more together, so like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you later. Bye.